Hi, this is Mahesh Ravi, and in this video, we'll be taking a look at Notion. So, Notion is a place where you can organize your thoughts, your documents, and do all your planning. So, it's a beautiful app, and once you get into the ecosystem of Notion, that actually makes your life a lot easier. So, I started using Notion 2 years back, and it's my go to app for any kind of planning, documentation, and sharing. So let's get started with Notion. So Notion is something that you can install on your phone, on your desktop, and also use it as a web app. So I have installed Notion here in my Mac, and I have this. So this is basically the interface of Notion, and it looks like this. So on your left side, you can basically see the documents or the projects that you have created in Notion. So let's, before we jumpstart into Notion, we will actually look at it in two perspectives: how to use Notion for just documentation and how to use Notion for project management. Right. So let's try using for documentation. So when you log into Notion, you can basically see on your left side there are a couple of options here, and you can start adding a new page. So when you start, ideally your pages will be, there will be no pages here. You can click to add a page. It will give you a space like this where you can enter the title of your page. So you have a title right here, and this is where you basically format and create your document. There are a couple of things that you can do on top. So you can add an icon to easily recognize or tag the document. So you can click on here, and you can click here to change the icon to whatever document that you're writing. So I just changed the icon right now. You can add a cover image. So you go to change cover here, you can choose a color, or you can basically choose an image from Unsplash. You can also upload your own images to the project. So I'm going to look for something related to TV. I'm going to add that in here. So we have a color image right now. You can just drag the image to reposition the cover. It gives more identity. Now, before starting to edit here, we can also take a look at the top bar. So one click on this, when you hover over this menu, it will bring your sidebar. You have a go back page. You have your page title showing up here. You'll see the edited updates right here. You can share the document. You can add comments into it, and you can view all the comments in here. You have your updates. You can pin this page to the sidebar. And there is the style options. This is very important. So you click on the three dots right here, and you will get to decide what sort of style that you want your document to be on. So you can choose it to be a default style. You can make it a serif. You can also make it a monospaced typeface. You can make it small width text with a full width page without margins. You can also do lock the page. You can customize the page. So there are so many things that you can actually do in here, but let's not complicate stuff, right? So we'll go back to the serif thing here. Small text, full width works here. Now, to compose a document, it's really easy, and it's really interesting how it basically takes all the commands, because it gives you a very minimal interface, and you'll be wondering, how do I create different categories of text? So it actually says type the backslash for commands. So if I type the backslash, you'll see a pop-up menu of basic blocks of elements or components that you can create in this app. So if I want to create, for instance, a to-do list, right? So I can choose that right from here, and I can type the to-do list, right? The summary. So now what we have done is we created a to-do list because that is the component that we selected. So you can go ahead and you can mark it as when we are doing. Now, if you click on this and you choose text, you can start typing a text right here. This is a basic text. But what if we actually want a heading to be created? So I'm just going to go to commands here, and you can choose a heading here. So there are different formats of headings. So I will go ahead and I'll choose this, right? So things to do. That is my heading, which I want to make this section here. And there are other things that you can do. So when you select on this, you have so many interesting things that you can actually process here. You can embed a page inside this. So if you actually created a sub page to your document, so you can see that this is the main page is script of the show, and inside that there is a sub page which you can name. So the screenplay. So the screenplay is right here, and we will start writing the screenplay maybe here. So if you go back, you can see that you basically created a page, a sub page inside of this main page. And this is how you can organize your document. So if you're creating a lesson plan for students, if you're creating a document for your employees or your personal study and references, you can actually do this to create sub pages and note additional topics into it. So this is a really interesting way to organize your notes. Now, another very interesting thing that you can do here is that you can create a toggle list. So what basically it does is that it will you can start typing in the toggle. So it is not going to be visible for the audience at first unless they click on it and expand this section. So so this content is visible to them only if they click on it and read this. Now to move this, it's really easy. You just have to click and drag and move these elements to rearrange and reorganize these sections in whatever way that you basically want. So it's really interesting. It's a really interesting way to document, and it's very easy to share. Once you have edited your document, you can basically share this, and you can share this to the web. Open this up and you will get a URL where you can share this with anybody that you want. Another way to share this is to go here and download the document by clicking on export. And if you export, you can export it in any format that you actually want. So this is how you can use Notion for your documentation, which is really cool. The options are endless, and if I explain everything, the video is going to get really long. So I want to keep it really simple to give you a head start into the tool, right? It's very easy to get started with it, and it's very simple, and it's very useful for you to use. So once we have this, right, let's see how we can use Notion for project management. So I'm going to go back to this space right now where we are going to create a new page, right? We'll call it projects. As I said, you can actually use this to plan your days, you plan your work, the projects that you're handling, the timeline of the project, whatever it is. This is a really interesting tool to do it. So to manage a project, we'll create something called a database. So we're going to click on the / to bring up the command, and we are going to type database. So we will create an inline database right here. So we have a database which is working. So we'll call it YouTube videos. So this is a space where you will manage your YouTube video project. So you can see there are different fields in here. The first one is the name of the project. So let's type in the name of the project, Notion Video Tutorial. So that's the first project that we are going to work on. And you can see a couple of things here. There is something called tags. So you can actually create tags. So if you go to click on the tags and you click on edit property, you can add the options of this tags. So you can say that this is work, or this is personal, this is for YouTube, this is something that you can do in your laptop, this is something that you can do in your phone, something which requires a collab with another person. So you're just entering the tags in here, and let's go back right now to this. So when you click on the tags for each of this, it will show up the tags here. This is very easy to categorize your projects. So Notion Video Tutorial, I'm doing it for YouTube, I'm doing it on my laptop. So this is a personal YouTube video, so I'm going to just choose it like that. So I have tagged my project. Now you can create the fields that you want here. So you click on the plus sign and you can add what kind of field that this needs to be. And you can basically select a couple of things. So I'm going to select a status. So status And it automatically has three statuses. One is not started, in progress, and done. So let's close that. So we can click on here and you can say that the work is in progress right now because we are working on it currently. So you can choose the status of the product of your project like this. Let's add one more. Let's say we are going to add a multi-select option here, and we are going to say that we are going to call it shooting or hardware requirement, right? And we are going to add all the options here. So laptop, you need a mic, you basically need a Notion account, then FCP for editing. So just to show you how this works, right? So if you can click on it and you can choose what you basically need for making this particular project, right? So it's all here, and I'm going to go here again. I'm going to choose a date, right? So this is where you can basically create a due date. So I'm going to call it due date. And once you come here, you can set a due date here. So I'm going to say that I will upload this video today itself. So I'm going to say now button. So you can see this right now. This is how you created a project, right? So we have your first project, we have the tags, we have the status of it, hardware required, due date. You can keep adding it and you can easily manage it. Now, the best thing about it is that when you create a database, you created the title, and click open that particular tutorial, and anything that you want to add into it, what are the things that you want to explain here, or details about the project can be added in here. So for instance, I'm going to say I will add a basic table, and I will mention what are the things that I actually need, right? Intro to Notion, maybe how to set up Notion, how to document, here to add one more table, and how to plan. So this is how you can use Notion. It's a really interesting application. I hope this gives you a starting point. You can also use the templates which are available here. There are so many templates available in Notion. So as a student, you can actually go here, you can click on this, and I'll give you the class notes template, and you can just start editing it. So this is also a really interesting way to create documents and start working with Notion. You can have job application. So if you're a designer, you can create design tasks, you can create meeting notes, you can even build a design system by using this. So check Notion out and let me know your thoughts. Hope this actually was a useful tutorial, and I will see you soon with another video. Till then, bye.